conversations with other local photographers in the past who say, oh, North Yorkshire, it's boring and it's only worth shooting when the heather's out. You need to go to Lake District and Scotland, blah, blah, blah. And I just think, what absolute twaddle. I think if you genuinely only like big views, lakes, mountains, rivers, etc., then yeah, depending where you live, you're probably going to have to travel. But if all you want to do is go outside, enjoy yourself, be creative, then just search and explore what's nearby and make the most of what's convenient to you. And when I say nearby, I consider anything within 45 minutes drive to be local to me, but today I've literally come 5 minutes from my own front door. So one thing that I do like to do when possible is to travel light. I don't really think that you need to lug around an array of lenses and filters and accessories every time that you go out. It can actually be a very sort of rewarding and positive process to work with limitations. So I've made things particularly challenging for myself today because all I've got is my camera over my shoulder, a fixed 55mm lens, my tripod and a battery and a shutter release in my pocket. And I've come to a very small area of woodland and I'm just going to see if I can make it work. Just keeping it light and keeping it simple. I don't particularly like lying on the floor to take photographs, but this is really just all part and parcel of it and trying different things, and I'm just using a very small aperture just to give me a shallow depth of field and pick out some of the detail of these really nice wild flowers that we've got in this location. So you may be thinking, why restrict yourself to a 55mm focal length? And the answer is quite simple, and that's that I believe that the most important part in an image is composition. Because you could have the best location, in the best conditions, in the best light, and if you don't get the composition right, then the whole image just falls apart. So by having these days like this, where I've purposely restricted myself, it just slows everything down because you have this constant shuffling backwards and forwards and left and right to try and get the composition right. And by slowing that process down, you start to notice elements within the scene that you might otherwise have missed. So you might sort of see a rock and think, yeah, I want to include that, or a branch coming out of the right hand side and think, well, I might want to omit that. Or you might actually end up with a composition completely different to what you first envisaged. And now these midges are absolutely killing me. The only problem with travelling light, you don't have a nice waterproof bag to put your gear in when it's absolutely tanking it down like this. this is a good example of how having the fixed focal length has encouraged some creativity, because I think under normal circumstances I would have positioned myself closer to the waterfall and used the zoom lens and kind of worked on different compositions that way. But I wanted to bring in that big wet rock and all the light shining off that over on the left hand side. So the only way I could do that is to come further back, but there's quite a few obstructions in the way, so I've had to move about, and I think I've found something which works quite well. It brings in like a lot of foliage, which creates like a natural frame for the scene and gives it a sense of place as well. But it's allowed us to bring that rock, plenty of the waterfall, including the source of the waterfall further up. And it's not perfect, but I think the different elements actually create quite a nice image. I like to say this isn't a composition which I would have spotted if I'd come armed with more convenient lenses. I can't believe that I've lived in this area for almost 30 years now, and I only just discovered this spot a few months ago, and today is actually the first time that I shot it with a big camera. And I think it just goes to show that you just need to keep looking and exploring and finding what's nearby, because you just find these little gems tucked away in the least obvious locations. I mean, have I caught any portfolio type shots today? Probably not, but have I enjoyed it? Absolutely yes. It was kind of nostalgic, to be honest. It reminded me of when I was a kid and we used to explore the woods and build dens, go paddling through becks and then go home absolutely filthy. But now I'm just kind of recording that journey, which is a journey of exploring and discovery, of improvement, but also a journey of well-being, I think. But anyway, it's raining again now, so I'm off home. I'm very lucky that Adele is at home currently cooking my tea. But anyway, thanks very much for watching and hope to see you for the next one.